I'm starting to learn that as I cut things away that are stressing me out, that keep my mind cluttered, that keep my emotions tied up, that things are becoming more clear. It's like the wheel that was so stuck and it was grinding and grinding and grinding. It starts to move, and it moves more and more the more I cut out the things that upset me, that bring me down. This means people that have no confidence in me, people that make demeaning remarks about me, people that choose to deceive me in some sort of way, people who are a little wishy-washy about me. They can't make up their mind if they're with me or against me or indifferent, right? So I'm saying, I'm not telling you to run from adversity or anyone who might contradict your beliefs, because that's huge in growing spiritually. But when it comes to the girth of your life, these people need to go. This does not have to be forever. It can be temporary. It depends on the person. But if someone constantly or consistently makes you feel like you're not good enough for whatever reason, if they make you doubt what it is that you're passionate about, if they make you doubt that you're important or you're a priority or that you even matter at all, these people need to go until that changes. We can't change the way other people feel about us, just as we can't change the way we feel about other people. You can change the way you see it, but you still know the facts of what a person has done, said, whatever. I really want to go into specifics, but I don't want this video to go extremely long. But for those of you who are in the situation like I was, where everything felt completely stuck, nothing was moving forward, what I've learned is we have gotten this mentality through social conditioning, whether it's parents, siblings, it could be coworkers, it could be a husband or a wife or anybody. They tend to make light of your abilities, your capabilities, trying to limit you to their own limits, meaning that if they believe that they can't do it, that you can't do it. But the truth is, you both can do whatever you want. The only thing you can't do is anything that you're not willing to change your mind about. The things that you can't do are anything that you refuse to change, you refuse to face, or you refuse to walk away from. That's what you can't do. If you can change your mind, you can change your life, you can change your direction, and you can change your destiny. But as long as you stay stuck in the mindset that I can't, then guess what? You can't. When you shift your perspective to I can, I will, I am going to, everything changes. All of the things that you have faced that were difficult to you, these things, you think they hindered you, but what they did was they presented you with opportunities to change your thought process. And if you still feel stuck, it's because you refuse to change your thought process. It's not because you couldn't. It's because you refused to change your thought process. Nobody is without trials and tribulations and setbacks. Everybody has them. But these things come into play to show you the possibilities, the areas where you could improve, where you could change. And this is where taking that leap of faith comes in. And it's not even about having faith that people will support you. It's not about having faith if they'll agree with you. It's about having faith in yourself enough to know that you are capable, willing, and driven to do something, and that you're willing to make provisions to open the pathway so that you can walk it. If you keep cluttering it with I can'ts, you can't. But there are ways that you can move things to the side. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of them, but they're not going to be your main focus anymore. Or you'll deal with them, but you'll deal with them in a different way. This is how you move forward. Never settle for less than you deserve. But at the same time, if you really, really want to achieve something, you must be willing to accept different ways of getting what it is that you want. And yes, sometimes that may feel sacrificial, but in the end, it does pay off. You may not get it right the first time either. And you may find yourself going back to old patterns because you didn't get the instant gratification that you wanted. And this is exactly what gets you caught, stuck in patterns, is because you had a time frame of, well, I guess that didn't work. You've got to look past that and see it as a transformative phase that does not happen overnight, though sometimes it can. Rarely does that ever happen. So what I'm saying to you today is that I'm hoping that some of you, I'm a huge fan of journaling and writing things down, but start writing down your challenges. What are your challenges? What is keeping you from doing what it is that you're passionate about? And each week, at least, change something about how you approach that particular obstacle that's in your favor. Little by little by little, your biggest troubles start to melt away. And now you can focus on what it is that you desire. And you can attain it because you've made room for it. You can't attain new things with your hands full. You can't make something new with full hands. Some things you'll have to lay down. Some things you'll have to make it a little less of a priority. Some things you'll have to radically change how you deal with it. It's about how important is this to you? A little? A lot? However important it is, that's how radical you should be willing to go. If it's extremely important, you should radically be able to figure out a way, a different way of dealing with that We're not trapped in any sense of the word. In any moment, you can do whatever you want that's physically capable of your body. It's just a matter of your mind. That endless loop, that thought process, I can't, I can't, I can't. What if, you know? What if? What if? What if I do put off this responsibility until next week? Is there not someone else who can handle it? I'm not saying, is there anybody, sometimes they may not be willing to, but if they don't have a choice, they're going to have to, right? Because you're not enabling them anymore. Maybe you have to choose to scale your job back to part-time, for instance. Maybe, income's very important, but you have a dream. Maybe you have to scale back the type of work you do or the amount of hours that you do, but you're still bringing in income and you just work extra hard at whatever it is that you're passionate about. It's just an example. But as you show the universe what you really want, the universe starts giving it to you. But as you keep saying, I can't, I won't, I'm afraid, the universe closes off those pathways because it knows you're not going to go down them. So start showing with your actions, with your words, with your emotions, what you really want. Vision boards are great. You can take a cardboard. I have a 3-fold cardboard platform, basically. And I have pictures of my dreams, my destinations, where I want to go, what I want to be, where I want to live. And I let myself daydream. And I start keeping that in mind as I move forward through the things that are difficult, reminding myself it's worth it. It's worth it. There'll be some things that you don't want to let go of to get there. But truly, you don't have to let go of anything. It's about shifting your focus on how you deal with certain things, certain people, certain situations. This is all about having faith in yourself. It's like moving forward as if there were no obstacles. Even if you're afraid. And the universe listens. It really does. So I'm asking you to take the opportunity, even if it's just one thing, even a small thing. Change the way that you deal with the situation for a month, let's say. I'm just making up a number here. Something that really upsets you or bothers you or tends to try to obstruct you. Write it down. Make a plan. For this person, every time they decide that they're going to pull me into their doom and gloom, I'm going to refuse to go there, and I'm going to give them something back positive. I'll be empathetic. I'll say, I'm sorry that happened to you, right? And I'll truly mean it. But I'm not going to get hung up in their storyline. And for a month, do that. That's just an example again. By the end of the month, note how you feel. How much better do you feel? What emotions did you go through? One of them will be guilt. Why are you feeling guilty for doing something that's good for you? You were still there. You still talked to them. You didn't abandon them. You just changed the way that you deal with them. It's just an example, a very good one, but it's an example. Start keeping notes about it. Notice the change in you after a month. How do you feel? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel heavier? If you feel better, continue on that way and move on to your next thing. It's about removing the weight of the world from your shoulders, a weight that doesn't belong to you, a weight that for some of you may have been placed on your shoulders by another person, but ultimately you accepted that responsibility. Maybe it's time to end that contract. I think if repetitively, this happens, it's time to look at that. It's time to address that. And it's time to remove these weights from you. Because you deserve more and life is so short. You deserve better. You can have better. You only have to change your mind.